start by recognizing the presence of Mr. Laolu Akande, who is the former spokesperson of Vice President of Nigeria. Mr. Laolu, welcome. Also in our midst is the former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in the person of Honorable Solomon Dalong. Welcome to the program. A round of applause, please. We also have in our midst Honorable Abdulsamad Dasuki, a member in the National House of Representatives from Sokoto State. We also have Honorable Ibrahim Bello Muhammad, also an honorable member in the National House of Representatives here with us today. Every other person, we are all welcome, and probably in the course of this event, we'll get into that. Without wasting much of our time, permit me to invite Mr. David from the Secretariat of the Future Is Now project to do a brief unveiling of the interim governance structure of the Future Is Now project. Mr. David, please. Where is he? Pardon? Okay, Honorable, sorry.
Thank you very much, my brother, my younger brother. I want to once more welcome all of us to this event, and to especially thank our convener and, of course, the chairman of this movement, and our August special guest, my leader, the former Minister of the Federal Republic. We are gathered here today for a purpose. Some of us are here because we would like to have a country where things work. We would like to have a country where all citizens are active participants to ensure that the dreams of our founding fathers are achieved. In the 50s and the 60s, like I mentioned earlier, those who started the struggle for independence were people in your age category. And that is, for me, why, when this idea was mooted, I grabbed it with my two hands, even though I am not within the age bracket and may not benefit from the fruits of this effort. But I know that those of you who are here today, if you succeed and you benefit, I will have a system and a society that I'll be happy to leave behind for my children and the generations yet unborn. So my brothers and sisters, my leaders that are present here, for us that are midwifing this movement, our objective is clear. And that objective is to convert the seeming apathy of the Nigerian youths towards the democratic process and activities to desirable enthusiasm. This hitherto situation of apathy manifested in low voters' turnout over the years. We can humbly submit that the future of our democracy lies in how successful we are in stimulating a renewed interest to to participate by the youths, and how well we are able to lobby and negotiate their sizable inclusivity as envisioned in our mission statement. My brothers and sisters, this is our ultimate objective. And I strongly believe that looking at the faces that are gathered in this room, that we are making history, and a few years down the line, down the road, we should be able to beat our chest and said that at the right time in history, we were able to act. And acting is what is required of leaders when you are not satisfied with the status quo. So, by the powers vested in me, I will now proceed without wasting time to unveil to us the personalities that will be driving this initiative going forward to ensure that we have a solid governance structure for a movement that will be sustainable and a structure that will deliver results at the end of the day. So, with your permission, I'd like to begin by announcing to us that this movement will be in the interim chaired by our brother, Honorable Abdulsamad Dasuki. Abdulsamad Dasuki, for your information, is a Nigerian politician, economist, businessman, who represents the good people of Kebe, Tambuwa in the Federal House of Representatives. He served as State Commissioner for Finance in Sokoto State from 2019 to 2023. A former Dangote Group manager, he holds a degree in economics from the University of Abuja with executive training from Lagos Business School and Harvard Kennedy School. I present to you Honorable Abdulsamad Dasuki, the interim chairman. My brothers and sisters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is also my honor and privilege to present to us another distinguished Nigerian who is also promoting this movement, who, by my own understanding and my own belief, is not also within this age bracket for this movement. Because I present to you my brother, distinguished Nigerian, Mr. Laolu Akande, who, Laolu Akande, by the grace of God, is a convener of this movement, and he is a Nigerian journalist, editor, scholar, media entrepreneur. He served as a senior, distinguishedly served as a senior special assistant for media and publicity to our distinguished Vice President, Yomi Osibanjo, from 2015 to 2023. Earlier, he was the North American Bureau Chief for The Guardian in New York and founded Empowered Newsware, a news agency focused on African and Nigerian affairs. He holds a degree in history, communication from the University of Ibadan, and since December 2023, has hosted Inside Sources with Laolu Akande on Channels TV, a program that fosters dialogue on Nigeria's governance and future. So, distinguished brothers and sisters, there can't be any better convener than our brother Laolu Akande. We are talking about affairs that concerns the young people. And for that reason, we also have in our midst co-conveners 1 and 2. The first co-convener is our sister. If you could rise for recognition our sister, Ms. Nwosu Nicole Nena. She is the co-convener #1. Thank you. And of course, we also have our brother, if you could rise for recognition, Mr. Ibrahim Zana Sunoma, co-convener #2. As part of the governance structure, we also have Okorafor Ifeanyi as the technology, data, and information lead. You all agree with me. Where is Okorafor? Yes, all of you here, apart from a few of us, are Gen Z. Are you not Gen Z? Gen Zs are driven by information, communication, technology. And a lot can be achieved through that. I was going through some articles recently, and the top 3 most capitalized companies in the world are in the ICT sector. And so this man's work should not be taken for granted. He can make or mar our efforts. Ifeanyi Okorafor is a lawyer with extensive knowledge in information and data management who has managed data in both electoral and financial situations. He brings to fore the use of information technology in improving elections and governance. Brother, thank you for accepting to serve. You know, people that MC, even if they are your friends, once they make them MC, they will try to hurry you up to do things. Okay, so I'll just rush this up. Okay, the next one is my brother Adamu Maman from the Secretariat. Is Adamu Maman here? If you are here, please, can you? Yes. Adamu Maman is a digital governance and GIS leader who has advanced ICT and geospatial systems for the World Bank and AFDB, improving planning, accountability, and recovery efforts in Nigeria's Northeast. He has trained officials and youths, streamlined reporting, and supported policy work in Nigeria's maritime sector as a senior legislative aide. With ECOWAS election observation experience and a PMP certification, he is recognized for delivering innovative, practical solutions that bridge policy and operations. The next one, of course, is my brother Tanko Salisu Yakasai, the man that has been trying to rush me. If I like now, jump your name. Tanko Yakasai is a household name in northern Nigeria, and he is a lead strategist. Yakasai, also known as Tanko Yakasai Jr., is a Nigerian political commentator, public affairs professional. He studies mass communication at the National Open University of Nigeria and later obtained a certificate, an executive certificate in public leadership from Harvard Kennedy School. Over the years, he has served in various roles, including as special advisor on media and communications in Kano State. He is also active in politics and contested as the gubernatorial candidate of the People's Redemption Party in Kano. Your Excellency, we are happy to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
And finally, our brother Henry Shield, communications strategist. Is he here? Henry Nwazuru, who? Am I right? I'm sorry for, yes. He is a Nigerian political activist, commentator, and former aide. He once served as special assistant on security matters to former ICT minister, our leader, His Excellency Bola Mohammed, the now governor of Bauchi State, and is the head of the Leadership and Accountability Initiative. Shield is known for his outspoken views on governance, security, and electoral integrity, often urging stronger accountability and warning about Nigeria's political challenges. I present you Mr. Henry as part of the team that will be motivating us and pushing us to achieve results in this movement. So I hope I'm on time. I thank you very much. And with this team, we are hopeful that the objective that was set for us as advocates, proponents, and those who want to midwife and see a better Nigeria will be achieved. I thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable David, for that wonderful introduction and unveiling of the interim governance structure of the Future is Now project. With our official unveiling of the interim structure, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite the interim chairman of this brand new movement, in the person of Honorable Abdulsamad Dasuki, to give us his opening remarks. Honorable Bismillah.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's not. To use this. Let me see this. Let me see this. So I think I'm hard now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen and co-participants, leaders of the day, partners, and most importantly, the young people of our great nation, happy 65th Independence Day. On an occasion such as this, when our beloved country is commemorating its independence from colonial rule, it is befitting to reflect on what is next in our continuous quest for a much more greater country than we already know. In that effort, we note that since the return of democratic rule in 1999, those who have represented the Nigerian people have often been mainly drawn from among the older generation, leaving out a very significant demography of young people who are, by several estimations, the majority of Nigerians today. It has been said over and again that Nigeria does not have a youth bulge, and not only is it that salutary, it should also condition the pathway to the greater Nigerian future that is ahead of us. As matters stand today, young Nigerians are still significantly isolated in the power dynamics and leadership of Nigeria. This is in spite of the Not Too Young to Run Act signed into law in 2018, which ensured the lowering of minimum age for eligibility into elected positions in the country. Specific changes were made by the Act to the sections of the Nigeria's 1999 Constitution to reduce the minimum age for aspiring to specific elective positions. The President was reduced from 40 to 35 years old, House of Representatives reduced from 30 to 25 years old, State Assemblies reduced from 30 to 25 years old, Governors and the Senate, although the initial bill aimed to lower the age for governor and Senate positions as well, the final version of the Act signed by the President left the age of qualification for these offices unchanged at 35 years. Now, the new laws has come and desired impact on the 2019 and the 2023 elections, resulting in a notable increase in the number of young candidates and more young people being elected to office. However, overall, there are still significant limitations occasioned by some strong and persistent barriers to entry for young candidates. What this has shown us is that there is still a lot of ground to cover if we must properly engage those of whom the future belongs in the running of the affairs of Nigeria. It is for this cause that a group of credible Nigerians in politics and outside politics have decided to launch a determined movement to do the needful by every legitimate and lawful way possible to drive younger political candidates into legislature, both at the state and federal levels. Our platform is to drive that movement is Future is Now project. And we are today announcing a strong commitment to close the gap and push further for a more dramatic inclusion of younger candidates in the electoral processes, especially in the state's houses of assembly and the Federal House of Representatives, where we are asking that more experienced and older politicians should make commitments, firm commitments, and sign on to a plan of action that results into composition of state assemblies and House of Representatives with 70% of young members. It was a great political philosopher who said, and rightly so, that each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. And it is clear to us that young people in Nigeria aren't likely going to betray this mission. That is why we are also keenly aware that if young people are not actively involved in choosing leaders, shaping policy, or fully participating in political parties, then they forfeit the right to complain when outcomes don't reflect their values. But then they must also not be denied of the opportunity. So we must take firm and proactive measures to encourage and secure their effective representation, not just in emerging leadership, but in power. Actually, our history bears out that important imperative of how young people have shaped our national trajectory. The great Sardauna founded the NPC at 39, General Gowon became head of state at 31, the great Zik of Africa co-founded NCNC at 39, the great Chief Awolowo founded AG at 42, and His Highness, the Spieth, became Rivers Governor at 24. Therefore, we are envisioning again a new Nigeria led and managed by younger people, but not just that, younger people of integrity, intellect, and with an insightful public interest. After all, 70% of Nigeria's populations are under the age of 40, which makes us one of the largest youth population in the world. Rightly channeled, this is a beautiful composition and even enviable. So it is not just rocket science that those who make up 70% of the population should equally be represented substantially in government by people within the same age bracket. We have more to lose if we don't upturn the status quo of presenting older candidates as our government representatives during every election cycle. In Nigeria, we have seen a teaser of the impact of young people galvanizing powerfully around a cause with the NSAS movement in 2020. This particular event reflected young people's frustration with government actions and their willingness to use protests to demand better governance. Across the world, we see young people demanding good governance, better socio-economic conditions, pulling down corrupt governments and political systems that obstruct welfare and security of the common people. Only last month, the world watched the protests in Nepal and also in Peru. When a large demographic young people feel excluded from decision-making and governance structure, it will only lead to frustration and disengagement from formal political processes, which could ultimately lead to violence. Why wait until then? We at The Future Is Now will therefore employ every legitimate and lawful means to ensure that young people are involved much earlier in their government as a preventive move against potential anarchy and proactive plan to a more stable democratic practice. It is for this purpose an agenda that we have summoned ourselves on this 65th independence anniversary of Nigeria, not just to announce a project, but to ignite a movement born out of sacrifice, fueled by persuasion, courage, and sustained by dreams of millions of Nigerian youth. This is The Future Is Now project. For too long, we have spoken about the future as though it is distant, but we declare today that the future is not tomorrow, the future is now. And that the future lies in the hands of our young people who have already established, make up the majority of Nigeria's population, yet remain at best on the marginalized sides of Nigeria's politics and governance. Our vision is simple but bold, to make Nigeria great again through empowered, prepared, and value-driven youth leadership. Our mission is clear. Sacrifice from the leaders of the day by persuasion and dramatic youth involvement in politics and governance. We know the journey will demand courage. It will require that the young people go beyond comfort zones, beyond entitlements, and step into leadership with integrity, vision, and readiness to serve. This is why the Future is Now project is committed to giving the younger generation not just a voice, but a seat at the table. And not at the back, but at the center of decision-making. Our goals and ambitions, but they are possible. We will ensure that 70% of state assembly and local government chairmanship positions are contested and won by youth under 35 years old. That 70% of the House of Representative seats are actively contested by young leaders under the age of 40. That youth representation in governance, discussions, and executive appointments at both state and federal level becomes a national reality. But representation without preparation is not enough. That is why we are investing in capacity building, mentorship, and values-based leadership. We want to raise a generation of servant leaders who embody integrity, inclusivity, and gender balance. Though this movement will create flagship demonstrations, youth-led governance models that will provide beyond doubt that young Nigerians can lead and lead well in any case. It is about their future, their very lives. So today, as we speak to the political leaders of the day, we will also address primarily every young Nigerian under who aspires to contest, to serve, and to lead. You are our focus. From the grassroots mobilizers to student leaders, from parliamentarians to community activists, this is your time. This movement calls for sacrifice from the young people who must step forward with courage, sacrifice from leaders who must open the door and give way for the next generation, and sacrifice from every Nigerian who desires to see our country rise again. Fellow Nigerians, the Future is Now project is not just a project, it is a commitment. It is a covenant with a youth and declaration that Nigeria cannot afford to wait another generation to unlock the full power of our people. Therefore, today, we call on all Nigerians, north and south, east and west, to join hands with us. Let us rally, let us organize, let us trade, and let us lead. The future is no longer far away. The future is now. Thank you for listening, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much to our brand new interim chairman of the Future is Now movement. And one thing that he said that caught my attention is the data that he gave. He cited the number of young people in this country. And coincidentally, we are not just marking the 65th independence of Nigeria, but we are also marking 26 years of this democratic dispensation from 1999 to date. Another data that I want to add briefly is that from 1999 to date, as about 26 years old, out of the population of Nigeria, 230 million, about 60% of that number, which is almost 140 million, are people that were born between 1999 to date. That is a huge number of people that are young, that only know this democratic dispensation. That is why they need to organize, that is why they need to coordinate themselves, and that is why they need to know that they are indeed the future, and that future is indeed now. Permit me to call one of these young people that is in our midst today, who is the co-convener of this movement, co-convener 1, in the person of Ms. Nwosu Nicole Inenna, to give us a brief remark. Thank you.
Distinguished leaders, elders, fellow young people, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today not just as an individual, but as a voice for millions of Nigerian youths who are asking, no, demanding, to be given a chance. I am under 25. I represent the generation that has been told to wait for tomorrow. But how long shall we keep waiting? My generation is not the future of Nigeria. We are the present. We are here, alive, aware, connected, and ready. We are the ones who power the tech startups today, putting Nigeria on the global map. We are the ones creating music and art that the whole world celebrates. We are the ones leading social change on the streets, in the classrooms, online, and in our communities. Yet, when it comes to governance and decision-making, the doors remain locked against us. Our leaders, with respect, must understand this. Nigeria cannot move forward while leaving its greatest energy and its largest population, the youth, behind. We are not asking for handouts. We are not asking to be pitied. We are asking for an opportunity. We are asking for inclusion. We are asking for the chance to serve, to innovate, and to lead. Give us space in politics, not as thugs, but as policy makers. Give us a seat at the table, not as decoration, but as decision makers. Give us trust, not as children who must be pacified, but as citizens who must be empowered. Nigeria is a young nation, and it deserves leaders who understand the language, the dreams, and the realities of its young people. So today, I make this public declaration. It is time to give the Nigerian youths a chance. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. To the leaders of today, I say, open the doors, mentor us, guide us, partner with us. To my fellow youths, I say, prepare yourselves, build capacity, demand accountability, refuse to be used, be ready to lead. Because when the youths rise, Nigeria will rise. The future is now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nwosu. Hello. Thank you very much, Ms. Nwosu, for that very powerful message that is well delivered. Thank you. And quickly, they say what a woman can do, a man can also do it better. So permit me to equally invite another young person in the person of Honorable Ibrahim Zanna Sunuma, who is the Deputy Speaker of the National Children's Parliament. Honorable Bismillah.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Right Honorable Ibrahim Zanna Sunuma is my name. I am a one-time Speaker of the Borno State Children's Parliament and an incumbent Deputy Speaker of the Nigeria National Children's Parliament. 65 years ago, our founding fathers declared Nigeria free. Today, we, their sons and daughters, must declare Nigeria ready. A nation that refuses to include its youth is not a nation of promise. It is a nation of failure. And let us be honest, this country cannot afford another 65 years of time. The clock is not ticking. The clock has already struck. Nigeria does not have a youth problem. It has a youth solution. This afternoon is not just about celebrating our independence. It is about launching a vision. The Future is Now campaign is more than a name. It is a commitment to youth inclusion, to rewriting the story of leadership in Nigeria with our own inks. This afternoon, what moves me the most is not the only launch of this campaign, but the sight before us. Elders and leaders in this very room, choosing not to shut the door on youth, but to open it wider. In a nation where young voices are too often dismissed, it is something we have not seen in a very long time. Elders and youth, side by side, midwifing a future together. That is history in the making. We appreciate all of you for making this possible, for daring to believe that partnership across generations is not just possible but powerful. And we owe deep gratitude to our elders and leaders who have chosen courage over cynicism and collaboration over silence. With honor, I would also like to acknowledge my colleagues, brilliant advocates, poets, courageous friends, and bold change makers who accepted my invitation to be here with us. We are not just guests in this room. We are living witnesses of exclusion and living proof of resilience. Each one of us carries the scars of our setbacks, but also the fire of its future. We are starting movements, we are leading debates, we are lifting our communities, and we are daring to dream. They are the reason I can say with certainty, we are not the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of today. And if anyone dares to doubt, then let them look at us tonight. Let them look at the fire in our generation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, believe me, a true leader is not defined by age, but by action. Do not mistake our youth for weakness. Our youth is power. Our youth is urgency. Our youth is the very fire that refuses to be extinguished. Independence was not complete in 1960 because independence is more than flags and borders. Independence means freedom from fear, freedom from exclusion, and freedom from neglect. And if those freedoms are not yet ours, then independence is not history. It is an unfinished fight, and it is our fight. Because the freedom our fathers began, we will complete it, inshallah. The chains of colonialism were broken in 1960, but the chains of exclusion, of neglect, of silence will be broken by us. The future is not coming. The future is here, and the future is now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nomo, for that another powerful speech. You will all agree with me that he is indeed able, capable, and ready to speak not just for the Children's Parliament in Nigeria, but even the national parliament of our country. Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. As I mentioned in the beginning of this very important event, this is a representation of different stakeholders. And one of those stakeholders that's in our midst today is a representative from the development partners that we have in this country that are working tirelessly to ensure that this country is better. Permit me to quickly invite Mrs. Maureen Edwin to speak for a minute or so, on behalf of development partners, not just in this room, but in the country as well.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone, again. These have been very inspiring speeches and almost even overwhelming from the Youth Parliament representatives here. I think on the side of development partners, it's very clear to say that they look at inclusion not just by the principle of what it is, but really as a pathway for transformation, for prosperity, for innovation. So this movement, this project of The Future Is Now is something that they can work with you on. So they will not work and represent you on the table, but they'll work alongside you. And they'll be able to bring in the best kind of support, pair you with the best kind of people out there, other places where these things are happening, and encourage you in the work to the future, which is now. The other thing that I want to mention is that as I look at us and I look at this room today, in 20 years' time, you will be us. And so I think we're setting in place a system that the development partners will work with you to ensure that you can replicate this. And so one key word that has been said by a number of the speakers from the elders' side is sacrifice. So you are coming in knowing that people are making sacrifices for you. You are going to be making sacrifices for people too. And with that, we'll probably see a different Nigeria that is transformed, that will be achieving its potentials, because we know that the future is now, the future is you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Maureen. The next person to speak is representing the civil society groups. And it's my honor to invite Honorable Harry Shield to speak on behalf of the civil society groups. Thank you. A round of applause for him, please.
Is this one working now? Mr. Chairman, conveners, my leaders and colleagues in this initiative, and our younger ones, I am Henry Shield, Head of Mission for Leadership and Accountability Initiative, and I bring you greetings from every member of the association. I am impressed, beyond impressed, at the speeches I listened to. I am fired. I am excited that you will not, your generation will not make the mistake that our own generation made. Our generation is non-existent in the Nigerian political system. Do not let the fate that befell our own generation to befall yours. Thankfully, this initiative is to provide you a platform so that you are not spectators in the decision about your lives. It is a platform to make you active participants in decision-making, in things that affect your life. We will be there. We will hold your hands together and make sure that you succeed. This is a challenge. Please hold on to it, and don't let this be just an emotional moment or a flash in the pan. Let something great, let something beautiful come out of this. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Harry. And we are still taking one or two more goodwill messages before we move to the next item on the agenda. And at this juncture, it's my singular honor and privilege to invite the youngest member of the National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives in the country, in the person of Honorable Ibrahim Belda Muhammad, representing Birnin Kebbi, Kalgo, and Buza Federal Constituency. Honorable, Bismillah.
Thank you very much, the chairman, co-conveners, respected elders, my fellow Nigerian youth, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The evening is far spent. I'll keep it very short, and I must say, having listened to everyone speak today, especially my two younger ones, co-convener 1 and co-convener 2, indeed, the energy, the potential of the Nigerian youth that has been so long underutilized is there. And today we are charting a new course, a course that realizes we, the young ones, are not just a statistic, but the heartbeat of Nigeria's future. As we unveil this platform today, let us always remember it is a commitment to sacrifice, to unity, to inclusivity for the prosperity of our dear nation. I pray that this day, the first day of October 2025, Nigeria's 65th Independence Day, will be a new stepping stone for the history, democracy, independence, and freedom of our dear nation, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I knew... Hello? Like I said, I knew I wouldn't regret giving... bless this important gathering for us. We are running out of time, and I would like to give the floor to Honorable Solomon. Yeah. There is no event that will happen without the Nigerian factor, so apologies for the little hitches. Quickly, we are running out of time. I think we have very few minutes left, but we still need a word of advice from our elders, just a word of wisdom, you know, to not just guide those that are in this room, but also those that are outside listening. So please, Honorable, I know you have a lot to say, but our time is limited, so we'll just give you the opportunity to speak as well. Thank you.
All other protocol established, observed. Let me sincerely thank you for this opportunity to be here with you. Let me congratulate you for this great initiative. And let me pay tribute to one of the greatest Nigerians who have just lost her life a few days ago through the uncertainty of the Nigerian situation. She tweeted and said, "Let Nigeria not do me or any of my family," and indeed Nigeria did her. So we pray for the family. Indeed, I think this is a very great initiative because this is a deliberate step by young people to try to break the shackle of exclusion. And exclusion has been at the bane of leadership in Nigeria. And therefore, taking this great step, I want to encourage you that you embark on an effective mobilization and engagement of young people. You need to also create awareness among the young people to appreciate the fact that you have a common destiny and all of you are in danger species. And you need to also be active in the political system because nobody will ever sit down and donate power to you. And so our political system is basically couched around the delegate system. And it's the delegates that determine who becomes a leader. And so even if all of you here contest election and abandon the delegate system to those who will go and collect money, nobody will be elected. And so you will remain perpetually excluded. So I think the takeoff point is that the young people should be more interested in those who even confer the legitimacy to contest election, which is the delegate system. And therefore, I would want to appeal that in all the political parties across the board, if we have 60% of the delegates, inclusion has been established. I pray that God in His infinite mercy will touch the hearts of my generation to have some form of sympathy and open the doors for the young people to participate in leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. And quickly, the next item we have on the agenda is the official unveiling of the pardon? Yeah, before the communique, we'll do the unveiling. And I think it's my honor to invite Honorable Olu Akande to lead us in this. Yeah, so we would like to invite everyone to just try and move to the board here behind me, just quickly, we don't have time, so that we unveil the declaration of the Future Is Now movement quickly before we hear from Mr. Olu Akande. So please, kindly move to the board behind me for that. Thank you.
All right, to the youth of Nigeria, here is the declaration to be unveiled. All right? Okay, just hold it. Are we set?
Yes.
So we're going to We put it up. We're going to turn it up. All right, there you have it.
Yes.
Okay, so the Future is Now declaration. We, the members of the Future is Now project, declare that the time for the Nigerian youth to have a seat at the decision-making table is now. We therefore commit to the following. We will champion and deliberately drive, lobby, and negotiate youth involvement and inclusion in political leadership processes and roles. We will strive to ensure 70% of chairmanship seats for local government areas across Nigeria are occupied by youths under the age of 35 by the close of the next election cycle. We will strive to ensure 70% of state assembly seats are occupied by youths under the ages of 35 by close of the next election cycle. We will strive to ensure 70% of House of Representatives at the federal level, the seats are contested for and won by youths under 40 years by the close of the next election cycle. We will strive to ensure 50% of executive appointments at federal and state levels are reserved for young Nigerians under 40 years age. This is not just a commitment. This is our covenant with the youth of Nigeria. The future is now. The future is not ahead. The future is now. No more delay, no more denial, and we will ensure that is exactly what happens. Let's have a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. Can everyone take his seat, please? And then we'll go ahead to listen to Honorable Laolo Akande, who is the official convener of this movement, and also he's going to read the communique for adoption by the different stakeholders in this room. Honorable, go ahead.
To the youth of Nigeria, we have met today. Actually, before we came on here, we've been holding consultations, and this is the communique of this unveiling of the Future is Now project. At the unveiling of the Future is Now project, participants from across Nigeria deliberated on increased youth participation in the political processes, inclusion in governance, and the reforms necessary to ensure that young Nigerians have a decisive role in shaping the future of our country. Participants have risen with a unified voice and a resolute commitment to youth inclusion and leadership in governance. And we have declared as follows, and we're going to repeat it for emphasis, that as Nigeria marks its 65th independence anniversary today, the time for the Nigerian youth to take their rightful place at the decision-making table is now. We believe young people are not just leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today, as we have heard from our co-conveners. And we emphatically reject every form of delay, denial, or exclusion of young people from the political leadership of our country. Number 3, in the pursuit of this vision, we commit to these bold and actionable targets by championing and deliberately driving, lobbying, and negotiating for youth inclusion in all levels of our political leadership and governance structures across Nigeria. We will strive to ensure that at least 70% of local government chairmanship seats are occupied by young people under the ages of 35. We will also take steps to ensure that 70% of state houses of assembly seats are held by young people under the age of 35. We will also strive to ensure that 70% of House of Representative seats are contested for and won by youths under the age of 40 by the next general election. Number 7, we will advocate for and ensure that 50% of executive appointments at both federal and state levels are reserved for young Nigerians under the age of 40. We will pursue this vision, number 8, by mobilizing and supporting credible youth candidates across all political parties. We will mentor and equip young Nigerians with the skills, and we will guarantee the resources to lead with integrity and excellence. We will ensure that alliances are formed that transcend political, ethnic, and religious lines in the interest of our national progress. We will engage actively and firmly with stakeholders, policymakers, and institutions to implement reforms that will favor youth representation at governance levels in Nigeria. And finally, this unveiling event, we have also recognized the foundational role to be played by the elder statesmen and stateswomen in shaping Nigeria's journey so far. However, while we do acknowledge their roles, we say that in order to secure the future of our country, we are calling on them to make sacrifices. We are calling on the older generation to graciously yield the space to allow the emergence of a young generation of leaders so that they can become the pillars. That is, we are saying that the older generation can become the pillars that we hold the younger generation by guiding and mentoring them through wisdom, experience in the continuous journey towards the great Nigeria that all of us believe is the destiny of this country. And this is signed by the convener, the chairman, and all the co-conveners at today's event. And so we believe that this is the future of Nigeria, and the future is here, and this is going to happen by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
That has been the official communique, or draft communique, that has been read and signed today at this very important event. And by the power vested in me, we move for the adoption. All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. Finally, as we come to the end of this event and we conclude, permit me to invite Honorable Mamman Adamu to give us, is it Honorable? Honorable Mamman Adamu to give us the vote of thanks on behalf of the Secretariat. Honorable.
Thank you very much, Malan Akase. Distinguished leaders, partners, fellow young Nigerians, on behalf of the organizing committee of the Future is Now project, I wish to extend our heartfelt appreciations to everyone who has made today's unveiling a reality. We thank our partners, civil society, leaders, youths, and student representatives, and indeed all stakeholders present for the goodwill that we have enjoyed over the few days that we have put together this initiative, your encouragement, and of course your belief in our vision of this movement. Special gratitude goes to our conveners, distinguished speakers, the committee members who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to bring this, to make today a success. More importantly, we salute the young Nigerians, right, which this movement is focused on, right, the true owners of this project. Your presence and commitment affirms that what? The future is. The future is. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you very much. And we have come to the end of this very important event. Even though this is the official unveiling, the work now moves to the behind the scenes, to the grassroots, and we'll continue with the advocacy, we'll continue with everything that needs to be done to actualize this event. Permit me, there will be a group photograph at the end, but we have to take the national anthem for, don't forget to register online on our platform which is www.futureisnow.ng. Futureisnow.ng. Now, the chairman has a word to add before we take the national anthem. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to communicate that by God's grace, first quarter of 2026, we are going to have a grand rally here in Abuja, bringing all Nigerians, all youth from across the country, so that we officially, have the structure from the ward, local government, state to the federal level unveiled in the first quarter of 2026. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rise for the national anthem,
please.
Yes. Please, only the first stanza. Thank you.
Our own dear native land, those runners on in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria, so and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be our symbol, that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honor, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children